Hello to everyone. Can we go around the table and find out a little bit about everyone?
So my name is Isabel. I finished my PhD 2 years ago. I was supposed to stay in the lab, but then as it goes, my supervisor did get the grant and I started exploring other options. And it came across TTO then when I saw an internship, Imperial Innovations in IP management. So I joined, I stayed there for 6 months, and now I'm at the Francis Crick Institute as a business manager. And I found out about this fellowship back then. And it really helped to complement my day-to-day work. Obviously you have some cases, but all the training that I couldn't necessarily get in my job, I got it from the fellowship. And that was great. And the candidate RTTP, I was supposed to apply when, I know that some of them applied now, but I wanted to spend more time on it because I think you need to go deep in what are your future plans, and so I need to spend more time on it. And in terms of the value of it, it was quite funny. I was just speaking with Angie now for a bit, and she said, in the US, everyone knows about it. Maybe here in Europe, not that much. So it might be worth getting raise that awareness of the importance of it, not just in academia, but also in industry. How do they see it? Because I'm not aware of the image that having the certificate is when you go for an interview and what would they be expecting from us?
It's a good question. I know, there are some companies that are all behind RTTP. I know GSK, Malcolm Skingle there, he's RTTP and is firmly behind it. One of our mentors, Kay, works for industry, and she's been accredited with RTTP. And I think it's one of those things that's happening slowly, but it's making those connections. And you're right, it's opening it out for everybody and promoting it. So thank you.
So my name is Maithili. I'm at the University of Dundee. I'm still working as a postdoctoral researcher there, but I'm also doing an internship in our tech transfer office at the university. So I only got my PhD earlier this year. So I was sort of at the crossroads of deciding what I wanted to do once I finished my PhD. And I knew I didn't want to stay on the bench. I knew that wasn't the path for me. But as Isabel mentioned, you're sort of streamlined into thinking about that career path, and you from PhD you go to postdoc and eventually a PI. But then what else do you do? Where do you go from there? And that's sort of the time that the call for the LifeArc Fellowship was announced, and that looked really, really interesting. I mean, I liked dynamic work environments, and I liked sort of interacting with people and doing things like that. And it was a great opportunity. There were other people in the university that had been on the course before, and they couldn't stop raving about it. So it just seemed like too good an opportunity to miss. And yeah, I haven't looked back since. I'm really, really excited about having discovered this. And yeah, I think it's nice that the industry is recognizing that you need some kind of qualification to show that you have the experience and you have the skills that are required in this field. And actually something that I was thinking of when you were doing the presentation is, I wonder whether, at some point in the future, I mean, I know you said there are only 500 RTTPs right now, but eventually if there are enough, is that going to be something that they're going to require when you're getting people into TTOs or, at maybe senior levels or things like that, or, you need to be an RTTP or something like that. So it's just a thought.
Well, already we're starting to see it on job requests that come into Praxis Oral. And it'll say, not on all of them, but on some of them, RTTP.
Really?
Not essential, but it's a first step.
Yeah.
It is a first step, and I think we're going to see that more and more. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Eleftheria. I come from a scientific background as well. At some point after my master's studies, I realized that I wanted to find a more interactive job, to be able to discuss with people, use alternative skills than technical skills and my scientific understanding. So I sat down and thought, what would be a really good career for me? And I had heard of patent law, and I thought it would be really interesting to understand how research findings can actually be protected. So I did a postgraduate certificate in intellectual property law in Brunel University while working as a researcher in the UK. So after doing the certificate, I realized that even though I have become a part qualified patent attorney, I don't see myself only drafting. I wanted the whole scope. So I want to have the science, I wanted to discuss with academics, be able to find partners, I want the whole thing. So I had an internship at Brunel University, and this is where I was introduced to the scholarship, and I thought that this is an amazing way for me to be trained, have a mentor that can actually educate me on how I can develop my career and things that I can be involved in that would make a difference. And I realized that this is actually the way to go, and especially for small technology transfer offices, you are not able to get the kind of experience that the LifeArc-AUTM Fellow would give you. And as for the candidate ATP, I think that for me, the most important part in the accreditation is that I need to understand myself what I have and what I'm capable of. So if I put things in place, I can also feel reassured and confident that I know what I know. Having it in writing also helps me whenever I have an interview. So having developed my career aspiration plan, it is a ready way to go whenever I'm speaking to other professionals. And it actually makes you feel really confident. And the confidence that I developed being part of the scholarship and of the fellowship was actually what got me to the position that I am now. And I think that having the career aspiration plan has made me feel really calm on how I want my career to develop.
I think that's a great point, and you're absolutely right. The plan is so much more than just creating a timeline of things that you are going to do. It's for you to feel reassured that you've not just done that course or that project, but you've gained all of these skills that you're going to have for life. You can move on to the next thing with that confidence. And it's a great thing as well to share with your line manager when you're looking at appraisals.
Hi, my name is Shalini. I'm from University of Dundee, so I have been a bench scientist for quite some time. And I've been doing a lot of basic and translational research. And that is the time, you think of how to, I'm doing a lot of translational research, very clinical now. So that got me excited that this is something I want to be knowing about research, but not actually doing research anymore. So I thought this is one way out, because I will still be interacting with scientists, still going through a lot of scientific knowledge, but then I can translate it, and so this fellowship came just at the right time and applied. So I said currently I'm still working in the lab, but because I'm evolving a lot of translational projects, so that is giving me good experience to learn the tech transfer side, because in my recent project I was quite heavily involved in just doing the contract negotiations and stuff like that. So that has given me kind of experience. So I still have to start doing properly. I'm doing an internship with University of Dundee Tech Transfer Office, but then this will kind of make a jump, because leaving bench, if you have worked for a long time, takes a bit of a time to move on. So hopefully I will be eventually getting a job in tech transfer. And then it seems the times are changing, and to get yourself established in this field, it's having this kind of accreditation is really going to help, and gradually more and more people are probably going to go for it. So I think it's not just looks good on your CV, but it gives you a personal self-reflection also that, yeah, this is a career I'm taking and I'm doing all right, I'm moving forward in the right direction and I'm ticking off the boxes. So hopefully I will be joining it.
Great, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and so I also just finished my PhD this year, but as part of my funding, it was BBRSC White Rose. I had to do a 3-month internship where I used science outside of academia. The idea was to give a bench scientist an idea of alternate career routes, And I chose to do mine at Warwick Ventures, which are the university TTO at Warwick. And I loved it. It was like all the best bits of science where you're finding out about this cutting edge research. You're right on the borderline of new. I loved how broad the technologies were that came out from across the university. And I also liked the breadth of the roles within a TTO. And I was really lucky because through that internship, I managed to get experience with like marketing and also a bit of patenting as well. So when I returned to my PhD to finish it off, I was certain I wanted to take technology transfer as my career route. So about 3 months after the internship, I found out about the AUTM LifeArc Fellowship. And so I applied and I've not looked back. It's been wonderful. It's been such a good springboard to help open doors for me in technology transfer. It's meant I've met lots of people. There was a mentor scheme which presented opportunities that I could look into. So that's been really great. And I've recently started working at Symbio, which is part of Cancer Research UK. So I'm doing a business development associate role there, which is doing technology transfer within life sciences, and I'm really enjoying it. So my view on the candidate RTTP is that I think specifically that being a candidate RTTP is a really good thing to show your employer that you are committed to developing and improving, and it just is kind of a way of demonstrating that you are committed to this and that you want to get to the top of your game. So I'm positive about that.
Brilliant. It's great to hear such affirmations about your careers and your aspirations. It's really amazing, and everyone is echoing similar things, you know, that there are some amazing routes available for you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Filipa. So I also have an academic background. I did my PhD as a Marie Curie Fellow, actually full-time in industry. So I was fortunate to spend the 4 years at Bayer Crop Science in Belgium. So very industry-driven. And then I did a postdoc at the Max Planck, which was very research-driven. So it was really interesting to have both sides of the equation in that sense. And then it became clear that I wanted to just do something that was a bit more applied and translational, with a stronger impact, let's say, that it's not just papers. I took up a position as a scientific officer where I could try out many different things. So I did science communication, I did grant writing, a lot of things. And the only thing I realized I could not really get training in was tech transfer, because this was really hard to get if you don't have an established TTO in your institute. And luckily this is when I came across the fellowship, and I figured, well, it's perfect timing. And that's when I joined as well. I'm now actually working as an innovation consultant, so I could bring up all the skills I learned into my new job. And you were speaking before about the value of the RTTP. This is a bit more blurry for me because I can see that I need the skills and I need the training that RTTP would give or allow to take in. But they're not so easy to bring in a different setting that is not really a TTO, and it's slightly more difficult to incorporate in the everyday work. So I'll have to see how I can make it work and put it together.
We're happy to help you. So I think one of the things for us would be to look at the core competencies for RTTP and what value that's going to bring for you and for your role and for your company, and we can build from there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Monica and I am a postdoc in London Institute of Medical Sciences. So last year when I applied to the fellowship, I was thinking what was going to happen with my career, because I realized, I like science, but I felt that I was narrowing too much in just, your project, your protein, and that's like the most important thing in the world. And I like to be in contact with more things, and I wanted something more applied. And then talking to someone that was working in technology transfer, she recommended this fellowship, and I thought that could be a great way to explore the field, and it's been great. I actually think it's a great career pathway because it's really scientific, but you are going to be in contact with so many different things, and not only that, you get the business side of it, and you see the application because you publish a paper and you're really happy. And okay, but it's 20 people who are going to read it. That's it, if you're lucky. But then here you can really see the impact. So yeah, now I'm finishing my postdoc and looking into moving into tech transfer. And about the RTTP, I think it's a great thing to have because tech transfer, I feel, is a very heterogeneous profession. So you have legal people, you have scientists. And sometimes it can be difficult to judge what people have, but then you have this certification and it's like, well, you can do it. And it's a kind of, categorize you as a professional, and people know straight away when you show that you have the skills, especially in such as I said, heterogeneous groups. So I think it's a great idea. And once I have some experience in a TDO that I have not now, yeah, I would go for it. Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks for sharing your positive stories. I'm really excited to watch you follow your paths. So I'd like to finish and close the session today with an understanding of, from you, what success looks like.
For me, it's working on something that I can feel it has an impact. For sure.
Yeah, that's true. And being able to demonstrate that impact. Yeah.
I think that success is personal. Success can be in having a great family, being happy, or being someone that can actually achieve things that would make a difference. For me, I am the second. So I would really like to make a difference, but in order for a young professional to make a difference, they need to understand where there is a gap and how they can use the skills and the experience that they have and their network to fill that gap. So I think that we are still at the early stage of developing this going onwards, but the fact that we have started being on that career path, and especially when you're part of the small technology transfer office, you can see the whole scope of the technology transfer process. So you can decide in which would I be most efficient in which can I make a true difference. And I think this is the way to approach it.
I guess also depends on time. I know for me now is making sure I draft properly a contract, then is making sure I do a great deal both for the academics but also for the university. Maybe it would be okay, the impact or how many people are using this technology that we manage to license or spin out. So I think it comes with time. I'm still green and starting, but yeah.
But you're right, it does take time, and that's the beauty about the candidate RTTP. It gives you the opportunity to consider your development in terms of skills and competencies. But what it's giving you the skills to be able to do is to confidently work on a project or a deal that without you wouldn't have happened. And that's when you think, now, 3 years in, now I'm ready to apply for full RTTP. Practice all behind you every step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.